My wife left for Europe with a suitcase full of space and forgot to pack her wedding ring. It sat on the kitchen counter beside the bottle warmer, bright and wrong. Kara was always in a hurry. Kara always had a reason. Still, the ring looked like a message she'd meant to send. In the other room, our son Milo started his pre-dawn cry, that desperate little sound that makes you move before you think. I lifted him from his crib and felt his warm weight settle against my shoulder. He pressed his face into my neck like I was the only safe place left. My phone buzzed. Kara's name, a text. Boarding, don't start, I need this month, be supportive. The month. Like it was a subscription she could pause our life for. I should tell you I wasn't the clingy husband who tracked her every move. I worked, paid bills, changed diapers, took my turn on midnight feedings. I wasn't perfect, but I was present. Kara said she felt invisible. I used to think she meant she missed being seen. Now I think she meant she missed being able to do things unseen. Milo squirmed on my hip. I carried him to his high chair, poured cereal, cut banana, did the morning routine with one hand, while my mind kept tapping on that ring like a fingernail on glass. Another notification popped up on our shared email, the one we used for daycare and bills and the boring glue that keeps life from cracking. Your reservation is confirmed. Boutique Hotel, Rome. Kara loved boutique. She liked places that looked casual but cost too much. I clicked because it was in my face, because I was still pretending there was an innocent explanation. Clean white page, gold trim, a little sketch of a doorway. Reservation. 28 nights guests, 2 adults. Default, I whispered, like the kitchen needed convincing. My phone buzzed again. Kara. Please don't blow up my phone. I'm with the girls. I'll FaceTime later. The girls. Hannah, Brooke, Mallory. Names she said like a prayer when she wanted to sound harmless. I typed, safe flight, Milo's up. I didn't mention the ring. I didn't mention the 2 adults. I didn't ask who she was sharing a king room with. Confrontation gives liars home field advantage, and Kara loved home field. She'd turned our living room into a stage years ago. I just hadn't noticed. Milo laughed and slapped his tray, proud of the mess he'd made. I smiled back because he deserved that much. Then my phone lit up with an alert I'd never seen before. New device signed into your account. Not email, not streaming. The messaging app Kara and I used when we didn't want our families seeing what we said. A new device, from Rome. The sink water ran too long. It overflowed a little. I didn't notice until it touched my wrist and snapped me back. Milo babbled on the rug, happy and clueless. And that's when I realized she didn't just leave for Europe. She left me a puzzle with pieces missing on purpose. The first night without Kara was loud in all the wrong places. Milo went down at 8. I cleaned the kitchen, folded laundry, stared at the empty side of the bed. I kept checking my phone like it owed me answers. Kara posted a story. A glass of wine, her nails perfect, captioned space. She was wearing the necklace I bought her after Milo was born. Seeing it on her throat made me feel like someone had borrowed my skin. At 11:47, Milo woke up screaming like he'd been dropped into a dream he couldn't escape. I paced the hallway, bouncing him, whispering nonsense. It's okay, buddy, it's okay. My own voice sounded thin. I tried calling Kara. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. Her recorded greeting was cheerful, like she hadn't left a crater in our house. Then I heard it, from the bedroom. A vibration. Soft, confident. Not my phone, not Milo's toy. Another vibration tucked away. I carried Milo into our room. Kara's nightstand drawer was closed like it always was. I'd never opened it. Not because I was noble. Because I trusted her the lazy way you trust someone after years of shared chores and shared passwords and shared silence. The vibration came again. Milo hiccuped and sniffled. He was calming down like he was listening too. I opened the drawer. A cheap phone sat on top of travel-sized lotions. The screen lit up like it was proud to exist. A message preview glowed in the dark. Can't wait to have you to myself in Rome. For a moment, my brain refused to translate it. Then it snapped into place. To myself, in Rome. I didn't throw up. I didn't scream. I didn't punch the wall like a man in a viral video. I just held my baby tighter and finally stopped hoping. Another message popped in. Did he fall for the space thing? Milo's hand patted my cheek, checking if I was still here. I kissed his fingers and kept rocking until his breathing evened out. When he finally drifted back, I laid him down and sat on the carpet with my back against the crib. In that quiet, I understood something I'd never let myself say out loud. Kara wasn't lost. She was choosing. Morning came with gray sky and a diaper blowout. Life doesn't pause for betrayal. It just adds it to the day. When Milo napped, I sat at the kitchen table and looked at the cheap phone like it belonged to another marriage. Locked, of course. I didn't guess codes. I didn't text the mystery number. I did what I do at work when everyone starts talking at once. I made a list. Proof isn't revenge. Proof is a key. Shared phone plan, call logs, numbers, times, patterns. There it was. One number, repeated like a heartbeat. Late nights, early mornings, a flurry right before Kara left for the airport. I copied it into my notes and named it what it was, him. Then the receipts, flights, boutique, everything. Rome hotel confirmation again. Bank alerts for a hotel bar, a private driver, little amounts stacking up like she wasn't even trying to hide the cost. Her social media didn't help. She posted, girls' brunch with 3 plates in frame but 4 glasses. In the reflection of the window, a tall man in a dark coat, half a face, enough to make my stomach drop. Another story showed a taxi receipt with 2 passengers visible for half a second before it vanished. I opened our photo cloud, Milo's baby pictures, my receipts, Kara's selfies. In the reflection behind her airport bathroom smile, a man's hand, a suit cuff, an expensive watch. Not a girl. I zoomed in until the pixels went blocky. It didn't matter. The watch did what the ring hadn't. It closed the circle. Later, I called the Rome hotel, not to demand a name, but to add an emergency contact in case her phone got stolen. I kept my tone friendly. I kept it normal. Normal gets you farther than anger. The concierge's voice stayed smooth. Of course, sir. The reservation is under Ms. Mercer. 2 adults. King room. 2 adults. He didn't have to say more. The number 2 was enough. That afternoon, I checked the suitcase Kara left behind, the scuffed one she didn't want to bring. Under leggings, I found a card with a lipstick kiss on the back. Next time, no friends. Just you and me, same hotel, same room. No name. Just a doodled heart and a little key. I set the card down and stared at it until my eyes went dry. Milo woke up and toddled into the kitchen, dragging his stuffed dog by one ear. He held it up to me like an offering. Then he pointed at my phone and made the sound he used for FaceTime. Mom? My throat tightened. Later, I lied. I tried Kara again. No answer. She texted 30 minutes later. Busy. Don't make this about you. I looked at my son and made a decision that felt like stepping off a ledge. I wasn't going to beg Kara to love me. I was going to take back the story she stole from our life. By the end of the first week, my life had a rhythm I didn't choose. Daycare, work, diapers, receipts, silence. On Monday, daycare sent a note. Staff training on Tuesday. Pickup at 10:30. Great. Another schedule shift. Another reminder that my real job was keeping a small human alive, while my wife toured Europe, pretending she didn't have one. Tuesday morning, I picked Milo up early. He was cranky, rubbing his eyes in the car seat. I parked downtown to grab a coffee, because if I didn't, I was going to fall asleep at a red light and turn my life into the kind of headline Kara would cry about on camera. That's when I saw him. A man crossed toward a black SUV in a charcoal coat, walking like the world made room for him. He unlocked the door and lifted his hand, and the watch caught the light. Same watch. My mouth went dry. Milo made a little complaining sound behind me. I popped his pacifier back in without taking my eyes off the man. He drove toward the harbor offices, the glass buildings where people wear badges and talk about values like it's a product. He turned into a parking garage. I followed at a distance, one hand on the wheel, one ear tuned to Milo's noises like they were the only moral compass left. Inside the garage, everything echoed: tires, footsteps, my heartbeat. He parked near the elevator. I stayed 2 rows back. Milo started fussing, the stroller in my trunk, his diaper bag half open. Perfect timing, kid. Perfect timing. The man stepped out, checked his phone, smiled like he liked what he saw. He glanced around. His eyes swept the garage like he felt attention. I pulled my phone up and took one photo: his face, his plate, the timestamp. He looked my way, not sure, not certain, but curious. My stomach flipped. I got Milo out, snapped him into the stroller, and pushed fast like I was just a tired dad trying to get out of the rain. The man walked quicker toward the elevator. For a second, I considered running, chasing him like a movie, grabbing his sleeve and yelling, "Who are you?" Milo started crying hard, sudden, that sharp cry that says something is wrong in his small world. His cheeks went red. His hands reached up for me. I stopped. I bent down. I soothed him. I chose him. When I looked up again, the elevator doors were closed. The SUV was still there. The man was gone. I stood in the parking garage with my baby crying and my proof in my pocket and felt ridiculous for thinking I could outrun a secret that big. Then my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. "If you want the truth, don't ask your wife. Ask her friend." My skin prickled. Her girls' trip wasn't a trip. It was camouflage. Mallory Keene didn't look like a villain. She looked like someone who'd slept 3 hours and hated herself for it. We met at a coffee shop by the marina. I picked a corner seat with sight of the door. New habit from a new kind of fear. Mallory slid in, sunglasses still on, though it was cloudy. She took them off, and her eyes were red at the edges. "I shouldn't be here," she said. "I know," I told her. She stared at her hands. Her nails were bitten down. That alone made me believe she was scared. "She used my name," Mallory said. "Told everyone we were traveling together, told her mom, told my husband, told you." "She is in Europe," I said. Mallory nodded once. "With us at first, Paris, photos, restaurants. Then she said she needed a quiet weekend, said she was overwhelmed, said she was going to Rome early, alone, to reset." Reset. Same word. "She didn't go alone," I said. Mallory pulled out her phone and slid it over. A photo, Kara in a hotel hallway, hair down, laughing. A man behind her, hand on her waist like it belonged there. The watch clear as a bruise you can't ignore. "That's him," I said. "Brent Halston," Mallory whispered. "Harborstone VP. The parking garage." Mallory's voice sped up like she needed to get it out before she lost courage. "She told me you were separated. She said you were emotionally checked out. She said you agreed. I didn't question it because Kara sells stories, you know that." I did. I just didn't want to. Then Milo came up, Mallory said quietly. She started sending pictures like it was a joke. "Look at Jack doing dad stuff. Like you were a babysitter she hired, not a husband." My jaw tightened. My coffee tasted like metal. "I'm telling you because I don't want her dragging me into whatever happens next," Mallory said. "And because Brent, he's not single. He's not clean." "What does that mean?" Mallory swallowed. "He has a partner. Long term. She thinks he's devoted. She thinks he's a hero. And Kara loves heroes. It makes her feel like a headline." I sat back, letting the words settle. Mallory leaned forward. "She's going to come home and act like you're the problem. She'll say you're controlling. She'll say you're unstable." "I know," I said. "What are you going to do?" I felt the ring in my pocket like a coin from a different life. "I'm going to stop her from rewriting it," I said. On Wednesday afternoon, I met the other person Brent had been feeding a story to. Her name was Lauren Whitcomb. I didn't know that then. I just knew a woman in a blue pea coat kept showing up in my people you may know suggestions after I searched Brent's name. Algorithm guilt. Digital coincidence. It felt like the world pointing with a shaky finger. I didn't message her from my own account. Elise warned me, keep things clean, keep them factual, keep them off your front porch. I asked Elise to reach out first, one short note, lawyer to citizen, offering a conversation if Lauren had concerns. No accusations, no threats, just a door. Lauren walked into Elise's waiting area like she was bracing for impact. Mid-30s, hair pulled back too tight, eyes that had been awake all night. She looked at me and didn't ask who I was. She already knew. People like Brent don't just cheat, they manage risk. When they slip, the people around them feel it like a change in weather. Elise introduced us and then stepped back, letting the room stay quiet. Lauren's voice came out controlled, almost polite. He said he was at a conference, she said. He said Europe was work. He was in Rome, I said. Lauren's face tightened, but she didn't collapse. She didn't make a scene. She was past that stage. She pulled out her phone and showed me a photo from a gala 2 months ago. Brent in a tux, smiling beside her. Her hand on his chest, his arm around her waist. The caption, "My favorite person." "Does he look like a man who's unhappy at home?" she asked. "No," I said. "He looks like a man who likes applause." Lauren gave a small, humorless laugh, then wiped under one eye like she hated herself for almost reacting. "I found a charge," she said. "A hotel bar. Then I found the same charge again. Then I found messages he forgot to delete." She swallowed. "I wasn't looking for a fight. I was looking for the truth." I nodded. "Same." Lauren stared at me a long second. "Is it your wife?" I didn't answer right away. Saying it out loud made it real in a new way, like signing a document. "Yes," I said. Lauren's jaw tightened. "And you have a baby." "Milo," I said. She looked down at her hands. "I saw her name in his calendar once," she admitted. "Not a full name. Just K, like a secret in plain sight. K. Kara. A letter pretending to be nothing." Lauren took a breath. "I don't want revenge," she said. But the way she said it meant she did want something. "I want him to stop treating everyone like props." I felt my own anger rise, then settle into the cold place it had been living. "Then you want what I want," I said. Lauren nodded once. "Tell me what you have." I slid Elise's printed packet across the table. Screenshots, dates, the photo from the garage, the Rome reservation page with 2 adults. Nothing fake, nothing dramatic, just facts lined up like teeth. Lauren's eyes moved over the pages. Her breathing changed as the timeline tightened around her. When she finished, she placed the packet down carefully, like she didn't want to smudge the truth. "Okay," she said. "What happens next?" Elise stepped in then, voice calm. "Next, you protect yourself," she said. "And you let the documentation speak. We keep it factual. We keep it minimal. We don't invent. We don't threaten." Lauren looked at me again. "He's going to try to make you look unstable," she said. "I know," I said. She reached into her bag and pulled out a small booklet. Harbor Stone's Code of Conduct. She set it on the table like a paperweight. "He loves policies when they benefit him," Lauren said. "Let's see how he likes them when they don't." As she stood to leave, she paused at the door and turned back. "For what it's worth," she said, voice softer. "I'm sorry. About your kid, about you." I nodded. I couldn't speak. Lauren walked out, and the waiting room felt colder after she left, like the building had exhaled. Elise looked at me. "You're doing the right thing," she said. "I'm doing the only thing," I answered. Outside, the wind off the harbor cut through my jacket. It smelled like salt and old wood and something ending. And somewhere across an ocean, Kara was still posting space like it was a virtue. That night, Milo and I made a card. Not because I was trying to be cute. Because daycare sent a reminder, family photo day next week. And Milo had brought home a little paper turkey covered in glitter like he'd been attacked by a craft store. I sat him at the table with crayons and a piece of construction paper. He scribbled hard, tongue out in concentration. I wrote the words for him. I love you, Mommy. He didn't understand distance. He understood patterns. Kara used to come through the door around 6, scoop him up and say, "There's my guy." Now the door stayed shut, and Milo kept glancing at it like it was broken. I recorded a 10-second video of him showing the card, painty fingers waving, and I sent it to Kara with one line. He made this for you. The message showed, delivered. It stayed that way. No reply. I taped the wrinkled card to the fridge. The tape ripped loud in the quiet kitchen. Milo pointed at the screen again and said, "Mom," like it was a button that would bring her back. I smiled for him, then turned away so he wouldn't see my face change. Not once. Milo smacked his handprint in blue paint and giggled. Then he pointed at my phone again. "Mom?" I tried Kara. No answer. I tried again. No answer. I stared at my screen, at the last message she'd sent me. Don't make this about you. I wanted to throw the phone into the sink. Instead, I set it down and cleaned Milo's painty fingers. At 9:32, Kara finally called. Video. Her face filled my screen in perfect light, hair styled, lips glossy, like she'd been waiting for an audience. "Hi," she said, soft. "How's my baby?" Milo squealed and leaned toward the phone. "Mama!" Kara smiled bigger, like she'd just won something. I held the phone steady. "Say hi," I told Milo. He babbled at her. He showed her the card. He laughed. Kara laughed with him, a practiced sound. Then, right behind her, a shadow moved, a man's shoulder crossing the frame. Kara's eyes flicked sideways, fast, then back to Milo. I watched that flick like it was a confession. "Where are you?" I asked. "In the hotel," she said. "Alone. It's quiet. It's nice." "Alone," I repeated. Kara's smile tightened. "Jack, don't do this." "Do what?" I asked. "Ask you a question?" Her tone hardened. "You're spiraling. I'm trying to have peace." Sometimes peace looks like paperwork, Elise had said earlier, and I didn't understand it then. I did now. "Milo misses you," I said. "I miss him too," Kara said, eyes glossy on command. "But I need space from all this." She gestured vaguely, like all this meant our life. Milo reached for the screen. Kara kissed the air and ended the call before he could ask why she wasn't here. I sat in the dark living room after, Milo asleep upstairs, and listened to the refrigerator hum like it was the only thing in the house that could keep a secret. Then I opened my notes again. Proof isn't revenge. Proof is a key, and I was done carrying keys for doors Kara didn't plan to walk through. Dana called it doing it the right way. Dana is my sister. The kind of person who doesn't panic, just moves. When I told her what I'd found, she didn't gasp. She said, "Okay, lawyer." Elise Carter's office smelled like old paper and coffee that had been reheated too many times. She asked calm, exact questions and wrote notes like she was building a fence. "Document," Elise said. "Separate finances where possible. Don't destroy property. Keep the child stable. And don't engage in a doorstep circus." We built a plan around real life. Milo's daycare hours, my job, Kara being overseas and sure of herself. The day we moved Kara's things, Milo napped for 80 minutes. Dana watched him while I packed. I didn't throw things out. I didn't cut up clothes. I boxed. I labeled. I photographed everything before it went into the truck. I made a spreadsheet because that's what my brain does when it can't scream. Inventory makes you look reasonable. Inventory makes a liar look loud. I rented a unit at a self-storage place off Mill Road. Mr. Pike ran it. He had a face like he'd seen every kind of secret and never blinked. The lock clicked shut with a final sound. On the drive home, my phone lit up with Kara's name. I didn't answer. She called again. I didn't answer. Then the texts started, little jabs meant to pull me back onto her stage. Why aren't you answering? Are you punishing me? This is emotional abuse. Jack, don't be dramatic. Then the message that made my hands go cold on the steering wheel. Why is my phone plan acting weird? She'd noticed shared access shifting. She'd noticed her safety net tearing. That afternoon, Elise's office sent notice. Communication through counsel, shared accounts frozen pending agreement, no surprise entries, Milo's schedule stays steady. At 7:11 p.m., Kara sent a voice note. I didn't play it. I didn't need her voice to fill my house anymore. At 9:03, Mallory messaged. She's freaking out, she wrote. She thinks you found something. She's talking about coming home early. I held Milo against my chest and understood something simple. Kara didn't fear losing me. She feared losing control. Kara landed on a Thursday. Elise called me at 8:06. She's returning early. Keep Milo with a trusted adult when she arrives. Dana took the day off. She showed up with a diaper bag and a face that said she'd block a storm if it tried to touch my kid. The house felt cleaner without Kara's things, not empty, able to breathe. Kara had filled rooms with her opinions for years. Now there was space, and for the first time, it belonged to me and Milo. I lined Kara's suitcase on the entryway tile. On top, I placed a thick folder. Plain Manila, Rome, Week 2, +1. Under that, a photo of Milo in his high chair, cheeks smeared with banana, smiling like I was the whole universe. Caption: while you needed space. At 10:19, Kara's car pulled into the driveway. She stepped out looking sun-touched and expensive, scarf like a costume. She tried the door code. Beep. Denied. Again. Denied. She knocked. Harder. I opened on the chain. Jack, she said, breathy. What is this? Why can't I get in? Elise sent you notice, I said. Her face flickered. Confusion, then anger, then that smile she used when she wanted me smaller. Are you serious? She said. You did this while I was away? You're punishing me for taking care of myself? I unhooked the chain and opened the door wider, just enough for her to see. The suitcase, the folder, the words, Rome, Week 2, +1. Her eyes dropped. Her shoulders tightened. She stepped inside slow, like the house had turned into a courtroom. Please, she whispered. Tell me you don't know. I kept my voice even. Milo's with Dana. He's safe. Kara swallowed. Jack, you're spiraling. You're connecting dots that aren't 2 adults, I said. Her mouth stopped mid-word. The hotel, I added. 2 adults. King room. Her eyes widened with real panic. She looked around like she could find an exit in the wallpaper. I can explain, she said. Explain it to Elise, I told her. For a second she was quiet. Then her eyes narrowed, and she reached for her phone like a lifeline. She typed fast. I watched her and felt my own phone buzz in my pocket. A message from Mallory. He's heading there. Brent was coming. Kara's eyes confirmed it before she spoke. She'd called him like he could fix what she broke. I took a breath and opened the door all the way. Come in, I said. Let's finish it. Brent Halston arrived like he owned the street. He parked half on the curb. He climbed the porch steps wearing that calm smile people practice for boardrooms. His coat was expensive, his hair perfect, the kind of guy who thinks the world is a mirror. Jack, he said like we were friends. Look, Kara told me there was some misunderstanding. Stop, I said. He blinked, surprised. Men like him don't get interrupted. Dana appeared in the hallway holding Milo. Milo saw Kara and reached out, a soft sound of recognition. Kara's hand rose like she was about to perform motherhood for the camera. Milo, baby, Mommy's home. Dana didn't move. No, she said. Brent looked at Dana like she was furniture that had started talking. This is a family matter, he said. Then leave, Dana said. Brent's eyes returned to me. He lowered his voice like it was a secret between men. You don't want to do something you'll regret, he said. I've been regretting things for years, I told him. This isn't one of them. His smile thinned. Think about your job, your reputation. You do something rash, you'll look unstable. There it was. The script. Paint the husband as the hazard so the affair looks like a rescue. There's a camera across the street, I said, and one on my porch. He paused just a fraction. And there's one in Mr. Pike's office at the storage place, I added. Kara snapped. Storage? Brent's jaw tightened. He saw the trap forming. He tried to recover by getting bigger. Jack, he said, louder now, be reasonable. Reasonable is why you're still standing on my porch, I said. He leaned in, voice cold again. Paperwork doesn't make you tough. I stepped in and slapped him once. One clean hit. One sound like a door closing. Brent staggered half a step, stunned more than hurt. His hand flew to his cheek. Kara gasped. Milo blinked, confused, then buried his face into Dana's shoulder. Brent's eyes narrowed. You just assaulted me. Call someone, I said calmly. Tell them why you're here. Tell them about Rome. Tell them why you were in a king room for 28 nights. His mouth opened, then closed. He saw the cameras. Dana. The baby. The story he didn't want said out loud. His charm crawled back onto his face, thin and mean. You're going to regret this, he said. No, I said. You are. He turned and walked away without running, but his shoulders were tight like he could already feel the floor shifting under him. Kara's voice turned small behind me. You can't do this. I looked at her, the woman who'd called our life all this, like it was clutter. I already did, I said. The storage unit hummed under fluorescent lights. Dust, cold metal, ordinary doors hiding ordinary secrets. Mr. Pike buzzed us in. He didn't ask questions. He just watched, arms folded, face unreadable. A process server named Mr. Laird stood near Unit 214 with a manila envelope. Inside the unit, Kara's boxes sat stacked neat, labeled, inventoried. No chaos, no spite, just order. At the center sat a clear plastic bin labeled in bold, space. Kara stared at it like it was a mouth. She opened it with shaking hands. On top, printed screenshots, hotel confirmations, call logs, the photo of Brent's SUV and plate, a printout with 2 adults, circled, the lipstick kiss card in a plastic sleeve like it had finally become what it always was. Evidence. Under that, the cheap phone from her nightstand, sealed in a clear bag. Under that, a note in my handwriting. I raised our baby alone for a month. You can carry your own lies from here. Kara made a small sound, like her throat had decided to quit. Mr. Laird stepped forward. Ms. Mercer, he said, polite. You've been served. Kara stared at the envelope, then at me. You planned this, she said, voice cracking. Yes, I said. You did it while I was away, she said, like that was the crime. I did it while Milo needed someone, I said. Her phone buzzed. She flinched, checked the screen, and her face changed fast. Harborstone HR. Please contact us as soon as possible regarding a serious matter. Then another message from a board member of the charity she loved, because it came with applause. We need to talk, immediately. Kara looked up with panic, raw and unstyled. You told them, she whispered. I told the truth, I said. Factual, minimal, through counsel. Footsteps echoed. Brent appeared at the far end of the row, walking fast, coat open, jaw tight. He looked smaller in this place, surrounded by doors that held other people's messes. He saw Mr. Pike, Mr. Laird, the cameras, the bin. Kara's face. This is insane, Brent said. Kara, come on. Kara didn't move. She stared at him like she'd finally run out of stories. Brent's phone buzzed. He checked it, and the pressure showed in his eyes like the ceiling dropped. Kara whispered, smaller now, "Please, tell me you don't know." I held her gaze, steady and done. "I know," I said, "and now you don't get to edit it." I grabbed the metal handle and rolled the unit door down. It slammed shut with a hard, final rattle, like a judge's gavel made of steel. I turned and walked away without looking back.